yeah, Collinsville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a Kahok. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple. Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapin' crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. Kahawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, all the boys,
High school champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening to everyone, and welcome to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. My name is Todd Duke, and we are here, well, it's the month of December, so we must be here for some basketball, and that's exactly what we're here for as your Collinsville Kahawks get ready to take on the Rochester Rockets in the second home game of the year for Collinsville. We welcome you into the pregame show brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call at 618-343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Well, the Kahawks come into this contest with a record of 3-1 on the year under their 16th year head coach, Darren Lee, who has a record of 283 wins and 173 losses with Collinsville. Coach Lee is in his 36th year overall and now sports a winning record of 748 wins and 316 losses. Rochester, they come in at 1-0. They've only played one game so far this year. Their head coach is Tony Gavin. He is into his 6th year, and he has a record of 48 wins and 96 losses. Well, the Kahawks, after dropping their season opener here in a 61-59 overtime loss to Heron on November 26th, went to Triad High School in Troy and took part in the Stove Top Stuffing Classic Tournament and won all 3 of their games to take the championship there. Kahawk senior Donovan Coates and junior Jace Wilkinson were named to the all-tournament team. Collinsville beat Hazelwood East 51-36 to open the tournament the day after Thanksgiving. Followed that up with 2 wins the next day with a 58-48 win over Muscuda and a 63-55 win over Mount Vernon about 6 hours later. The Kahawks traveled north to Rochester last year and went to 5-0 in last year's season with a 67-32 win over the Rockets. In that game, the 3-headed senior team of Jamori Weisinger, Zach Chambers, and Nick Horace all scored in double digits, with Weisinger on the strength of hitting 5 of 8 3-point shots, led the way with 17 points, while Chambers pulled off a double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds. The Kahok defense held Rochester to just 2 points in the first quarter and only 9 points total in the first half of that game. Rochester, they come into tonight's game with only one game played so far this season, a season-opening 63-32 road win at Hillsboro. The Rockets were down 11-10 after the first quarter and then went on a tear both offensively and defensively. The defense held the Hilltoppers to single digits in every quarter after that, 8 points in both the second and the third quarters, and then 5 points in the final frame. Over those last 3 quarters, the Rockets outscored Hillsboro 53-21, led by sophomore Eli Cox and his 19 points. Cox was the only Rockets player to reach double digits in scoring, and he hit the double-double with 12 rebounds to go along with those 19 points. Cox also registered 4 blocks in that win. Head coach Tony Gavin guided his team to a regional title last year with a 58-47 win over Jacksonville in the regional semifinal before claiming that regional championship with a 38-34 win over Glenwood. Rochester would lose in their sectional semifinal appearance in a 58-51 loss to Mount Zion. The regional championship for the Rockets, by the way, was their first since the 2004-2005 season under Jim Egan. Rochester did win a sectional championship that season, one of 2 sectional championships in school history. The other also came under Egan. That was in the 1997-98 season. No appearances in the state title tournament in boys basketball for Rochester. Had a chance just a little while ago to catch up with Collinsville head coach Darren Lee. We will pass that conversation on to you next as the Chiropractic Works pregame show rolls on here on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pitmaster. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning sauces and rubs that supports our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time world champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com or call 618-855-8855. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahok Sports Network, as well as the Kahok Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see financial advisor and investment vice president Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all Collinsville area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with former Kahok Logan Carlisle, his dad Tim, along with Caleb Tanzius, play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event or to call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. Is it finally time to start doing what you've been talking about doing for years? Start making those plans right now and let Northwestern Mutual help you plan your future. Former Kahok Joe Philpott can help you get started with that plan today. Joe Philpott, a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, can help build a plan specifically for you with a wide range of financial options and the flexibility to change that plan as your priorities change. To get started on your future, give Joel Philpott a call today at Northwestern Mutual's Fairview Heights office at 618-606-2022. Spend your life living with Northwestern Mutual. Call Joel Philpott today, 618-606-2022. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for veterans in need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we'd be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
We welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Collinsville and Rochester here tonight at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. 16th year Collinsville basketball head coach Darren Lee joining us now. Coach, let's go back to the season opening overtime loss to Heron here at home. Kind of a rough night a little bit in the shooting department for you guys. 40% from the floor. You started off 1 for 9 from beyond the three-point stripe. Made up a little bit of that later in the game. So is it like one of those things where it's like the first game jitters, first game nervousness?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like I said earlier, we're still feeling our way offensively, just getting what we want to do. We're still not there yet. You know, we just getting our chemistry and our offensive sets and where we want to shoot the shots, and when we just didn't make it. Actually, our offense wasn't great, but our defense was worse. So, but especially our rebounding. But we didn't get off to a great start. But you know, I thought we were getting better each game.
All right, so you got the 3 games under your belt over at Triad in their tournament. Is it starting to gel a little bit more now?
A little bit. You know, it's taken some time, but we got better over the weekend. I thought. You know, we guarded better. Had a good offensive game from Donovan, a big rebounding game from Saul in the Mount Vernon game. So getting better, and hopefully we can continue that tonight. But like I said, I thought defensively and our rebounding was better. I mean, the first game, sometimes you shoot it well, sometimes you don't. But you can always. Well, I thought we just gave up too many layups and offensive rebounds in that first game, and I thought we did a better job with that over the weekend.
All right, so let's break it down just a little bit for each game. Tell me a little bit about the Hazelwood East game.
Well, I think, what did we win, by 15 or 16? It was a pretty good effort. You know, we got I think we were balanced scoring and kind of slowly put them away. So I was happy with that game. I don't remember it as well as the other two, to be honest with you.
All right, well, let's go to the second game then. If you remember that one even better, the Mascoutah game.
Well, you know, again, we defensively, I thought we did a good job guarding those guys. They got some pretty good players, and McCoo and those guards that started last year. I thought we shut them down pretty well, and we dominated on the glass, I thought, and you know, and we were able to grind out. I think we won by 10, so it was a good victory.
All right, and then finally the Mount Vernon game, the one that ended up clinching it for you.
Yeah, that was the one that concerned me. Well, they all concerned me, but that one concerned me the most. I thought we really defended their shooters really well. Like I said earlier, Saul had a big game rebounding it with 13, and then Stanley, and some of the other games, Stanley had some big rebounding games, and then Donovan had a really good game for us offensively. Was 29. I think it was 9 out of 17 from the field, 29 points, and really played well. So, you know, we got out to a pretty good lead, and like I said, I thought we did a good job defending their scorers.
All right, well, that brought me to Donovan Coates, and Jace Wilkinson ended up being named to the all-tournament team. Donovan really kind of feeling it now. I think he's got the 8th most points all in St. Louis, and he's 20 of 24 from the free throw line. Not bad.
Yeah, he's really shooting it well from the line, and he is. He's got off to a pretty good start, no question about it. Getting to the basket, knocking down some shots, scoring in different ways, and getting to the free throw line. I mean, that means you're getting to the basket and getting fouled.
All right, and Jace Wilkinson also on that all-tourney team. A little bit of a rough start for him versus Heron, but he had a pretty good tournament.
He did have a good tournament. Made some shots when we needed them. And that was one thing. I think that Mascoutah went zone for a bit, and he really knocked some shots. You know, he's got a good quick release against the zone, and he's going to have to do that again tonight. But yeah, he shot it well, and I thought he defended well against Mount Vernon. Holloway, the coach's son, is a really good player, and I thought he did a good job guarding him.
All right, you got Rochester tonight. What do you remember about these guys going up there last year that you can use to your advantage here tonight?
Well, they were really young last year, but last year was a lot different because they hadn't practiced. You know, their football team was state finals, and a lot of guys were playing football. Now this year, they've had as much practice as we have, so they're going to be much more prepared. They have everybody. They're still pretty young. They're going to be really good next year. But last year, we beat them pretty easily, and then they ended up winning the regional. You know, they won a 3A regional and got pretty good at the end of the season, and so they're going to be it's going to be a tough opponent. And they got some size. They're still got a lot of juniors playing, so they're really going to be good next year. But they're pretty good this year. And they shoot a lot of threes. I won't have the one video on them. So and they beat Hillsborough pretty bad. So we don't have a lot to go on. I looked at last year's tape, and that didn't give me a lot more. But yeah, so. Hopefully, but we know, I think they're going to start in the zone against us like they did last year, and we shot them out of it last year. Hopefully we can do that again.
All right, what do you want to see out of your guys tonight?
Well, like I said, we're going to knock some shots down. We're going to have to get back and defend the arc, and we've done that pretty well here lately. So we've got to defend, we've got to collect long rebounds if they shoot threes. So they're going to bounce out of there. And against their 2-1-2 zone, move the basketball. I'm hoping Stanley and Saul can really be dominant on the offensive glass against that zone. You know, they can get some stick backs when our outside guys, they don't knock their shots down. But you know, we need to have a shooting, from all our players. We need to make shots against that zone from the arc.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
That is Darren Lee, your Collinsville Kahok varsity boys basketball head coach. We'll take a break here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw the starters for each side your way. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisared lipo laser machine. The Invisared machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisared technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we'd be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisaret offers.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent service staff. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. And of course, All Pro Tees is your destination for everything Collinsville Kahawks. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville at 2240 South Morrison Avenue. Online at allprotees.com. Right across the street from Kahok Stadium. All Pro Tees, 618-344-2200.
We love to have you come work for the City of Collinsville. We have many positions available, from seasonal jobs to full-time opportunities in many of our departments. From police and fire to Gateway Center, Parks and Recreation, and City Hall. Our employees enjoy great benefits like comprehensive medical plans, paid time off, tuition reimbursement, and more. Visit the city's website, collinsvilleil.org, to apply and learn more about working for the City of Collinsville.
Celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. And once again, we welcome you back here to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. My name is Todd Duke, and we're just about ready to go here. And here are your starters. We'll begin with Rochester. Eli Cox, a 6'5 sophomore, on the floor tonight, as is Kai Bruce, a 6'5 junior. Jack Melton, a 6'3 senior. Tanner Beal, a 6'6 junior. And Corbin Gregory, a 5'8 junior. For your Collinsville Kahawks, same starting five they had against Heron the last time we were here 1 week ago tonight. Jace Wilkinson, the 5'11 junior. Donovan Coates, the 6'3 senior. Stanley Carnahan, the 6'6 senior. Chase Reynolds, the 6' senior. And the big man, Solomon Talbot, the 6'11 senior. Filling in for Dr. Chris McCluskey tonight on the other microphone, one Mr. Zach Roseman. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good, Todd. Happy to be here at Fletcher Gym for some Kahawk basketball. Kind of an intriguing matchup. Not going to see too many teams like Rochester on the schedule, so curious to see what the Rockets have. Like Coach Lee mentioned, this Rockets team did win a regional last year and bring a decent amount back, and still a pretty young team. Only 3 seniors on the roster, and only one of them starting tonight. So we'll see how they match up with Collinsville. It'll be Talbot and leading scorer from the Hillsborough game, Eli Cox, to tip things off here.
Yeah, Coach mentioned that they're tall. They are, man. Both teams, by the way, have 4 of their 5 players over 6 foot, so we are underway, and the Rockets win the tip-off, and a shot taken, and then a turnover almost. It's going to stay with the Rockets after Corbin Gregory. They got that tip-off after the tip-off was won, and he just darted to the net.
Yeah, and then he got kind of ran into
by his own player, yeah. So they avoid the turnover, and the inbound pass comes in. Here is Cox, turnaround shot. That one's good, and that's how this one gets started. Collinsville down 2-0, and here come the Kahawks on their first possession. Here is Chase Reynolds. Reynolds gets the ball over to the team's leading scorer. That's Donovan Coates. Back over to Reynolds. Reynolds being guarded by Gregory, and now Donovan will put up a 3-point shot. That one just ticks off the side of the rim and ends up going out of bounds, and it is going to stay with Collinsville.
No, I think they got Solomon with a push. No, looks like you were right.
Okay. Kind of hard to see over this balcony sometimes when the play's down there at the very end.
Yeah.
So Chase Reynolds will inbound underneath of his own basket, offset to the right. Collinsville, of course, out there in white. Rochester Rockets out there in the orange uniforms. Here is Jace Wilkinson. Wilkinson over on the wing now for Reynolds. Reynolds will take it up toward the top of the logo, back over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson being guarded closely there by Bruce. And then back out front will go to Reynolds. Right now, a swarming defense here by the Rockets. Knocking the ball out of the hands of Carnahan, but he stays with it enough. Now to the 6'11 Solomon. Turn around, little hook shot, baby hook shot. And Talbot gets Collinsville on the board. We're tied at 2.
I liked how Solomon was able to show a little bit more aggressiveness during that Mount Vernon game. If he can do that, I mean, it's not like anybody's going to really be able to block his shots with how tall he is. Long three-pointer there from Bruce, no good.
Solomon gets the rebound for Collinsville, and the Kahawks bring it back up, looking to take their first lead. Jace Wilkinson with a three-point shot, but that one's partially blocked, and then the rebound belongs to the Rockets. Rochester, they bring it up, and here is Bruce. Bruce over in front of the Kahawk bench, and now we're going to have a travel that's going to be called against Jack Melton, and that'll be the first turnover of the game.
Yeah, kind of interesting, really matching up out of the zone are Rochester. Not something you see very often in the Southwestern Conference, at least as a base defense. See how Collinsville are able to adjust to it.
There is Donovan Coates on the left wing, inside the perimeter to Carnahan. Top of the key now for Reynolds, and a hop, skip, and a jump at the free throw line. Gives it back to Carnahan. Nice little deke move there, but couldn't finish up the shot, and this time the rebound will belong to Rochester. They quickly get it up to Bruce. Bruce high off the glass, can't get it to go, but Carnahan is going to get called for the game's first foul.
Yeah, Gregory impressing me already. Not a real big guy, listed at 5'8", and I don't know, not a very tall guy, but he's pretty fast and shows some good court vision there, getting the ball down court to Bruce, who's able to draw the foul, and we'll see how well the Rockets are able to shoot their free throws here tonight.
Kai Bruce went 1 for 1 in the win over Hillsboro in their first game of the year. So he's at the free throw line, first free throw shooter of the day. Kai Bruce, a 6'5 junior, and he hits the first one. So 3-2, Rockets regain the lead. Bruce, one more shot coming his way. And he makes both of them. Yeah, talked about Gregory. There's 3 Gregorys on the team, 2 freshmen, and then Corbin, the junior, the 2 freshmen, Cornell and Cordell. One's 5'6", the other one's 5'10". Here is Donovan Coates. Coates, the leading scorer for Collinsville, as I mentioned. Kick it outside from Carnahan to Wilkinson, and he hits the first three-point shot of this contest. And Wilkinson's now on the board. Collinsville has their first lead at 5-4. We have 5:40 left to play here in this opening quarter. Rockets go back to work in front of the Kahawk bench to Melton. Melton over to Bruce. Bruce will try to three to give his team the lead back. No good, but the rebound belongs to the Rockets. Now at the end of the Kahawk bench, that's Melton. Melton kicks it out front for Bruce, and Bruce back over to Melton. They'll play catch out at the top of the perimeter for a while. Melton waits for his guys to get in position in the perimeter. Nowhere else to go after he picked up his dribble. Now he's on the ground and in trouble, and we're going to have a jump ball called, and the possession arrow in favor of Collinsville, so the Kahawks will get the ball back.
Yeah, good defensive possession there from Collinsville. Rochester tried to be a little more patient after getting the offensive rebound after the three, which actually did say in the interview that Rochester were going to shoot quite a few of them. Do you have stats on how many they shot against Hillsboro?
I just have individual. I don't have team. I didn't have a chance to write that down. I can
right.
add them up quick. Here is
right.
Donovan Coates with a big three-point shot from the left corner, and Collinsville extends their lead. And Coates is on the board for the first time tonight. Here is Gregory. Gregory at the top of the key, reverses, heads over toward the right wing. Partial shot, but that's, well, I was going to say it was partially blocked, but apparently it wasn't. It was an arm hit instead of the ball.
Yeah, it looks like Solomon got the ball pretty cleanly, but I guess he kind of bumped him as he jumped up for it. I mean, you have to give Gregory some credit. 5'8" going up against 6'11" isn't usually a great matchup, but he draws the foul in this instance.
Yeah. There was a lot of three-point shots taken, that's for sure. That's 16, 19, 20, 26, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 three-point shots they took in that win over Hillsboro.
That's more threes than some teams will have shot attempts in a game. So,
who was at the free throw line? I missed it.
Gregory. He did make
okay.
the second one.
All right. Now I'm all caught up. Another three-point shot for Collinsville misses the mark. So right now, Collinsville 2 for 5 from beyond the three-point shots or stripes. So Collinsville has already taken more three-point attempts here than the Rockets have so far.
Still very early.
Inbound pass coming in from Jace Wilkinson. And Wilkinson gets it to Solomon Talbot. Talbot all the way across to Donovan. Donovan Coates. Coates with that right-hand dribble, picks it up, gets it outside now for Wilkinson. Wilkinson, he's in front of the Rockets bench, gets it inside the perimeter, but that ball is knocked away and picked up by Beal. That's the first Collinsville turnover. And now here is Gregory inside the perimeter, takes a shot, gets it to fall.
Yeah,
Gregory now with 3.
Hey, he's don't remember him as being much of a contributor for him last year, but he's impressed me so far.
Yeah. Donovan Coates, another three-point try, and that one's good as well.
Well, Donovan had a really good game Saturday night against Mount Vernon, and up to 6 points already on 2 threes, and going to get a solid defensive effort there. As the shot up, no good by Melton, I believe.
We are halfway through this first quarter. Collinsville, after the rebound, brings it back up. Here is Coates. Kicks it back outside to Reynolds. Back over to Coates in the left corner. Coates back out front for Reynolds. And Reynolds, a no-look pass to Talbot. Talbot, one bounce, turns around, takes the shot, can't get it to go. And the rebound is volleyballed all the way back out for Gregory. So another rebound for the Rockets. Into the corner, three-point shot. Hits the inside of the rim, no good. Talbot pulls down the rebound, and the Kahawks bring it back up court. Here is Coates, gets it up to Reynolds. Reynolds on the near sideline, standing on top of the Fletcher and the Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium cursive writing on the floor here. Off the free throw line, taking a shot is Reynolds, no good. Rebound, Stanley Carnahan had it for a minute, but the Rockets had that one ripped right out of the hands by Beal. And now here is Gregory. Gregory over on the left wing. Under 3 minutes to go here in a fast-moving first quarter.
Got 2 subs set to come in for the Rockets at the next opportunity. Brooks Gavin being one of them.
Here is Jack Melton. Melton gets the ball over to Beal. Beal will try to pass it up underneath. Carnahan almost intercepted the ball, but his momentum afterwards took him out of bounds. Collinsville will bring in Evan Wilkinson. He'll take the place of Carnahan. And then Brooks Gavin and
for Nate Sweeney.
Nate Sweeney.
6-foot sophomore.
All right. I didn't have him on here.
Getting his first action of the year, I guess.
All right. Back to action we go. Here is Gavin. Gavin will slingshot a pass over to Cox. Cox at the top of the key. Gives it up to Sweeney. Sweeney, he'll dribble and drive, but all outside the perimeter. 2:20 left to go. Little feed underneath the basket, and that is going to be heading back the other way. Third turnover for Rochester.
Yeah, Collinsville just doing a solid job. Just kind of, they've defended fairly well, especially here in the last few trips down the floor for Rochester, and shot the ball at a decent clip so far.
There is Reynolds for Collinsville. Gets the ball over to Coates. Coates from the near sideline, dribbles into the perimeter, gives it up. Evan Wilkinson. He'll try a three-point shot from the left corner, no good. And the rebound comes all the way back out for Rochester. The Rockets, they move it back up. Spin move by Sweeney in the paint. Get that out of here, says Coates. Picked up by Talbot, and Collinsville moves it back up for more. Here's Jace Wilkinson. Thought about that three from that same hot spot that Coates has been hitting from earlier, but thought better of it. Gives it up for Reynolds. Now back over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets it right back from Reynolds. And underhand pass out to Reynolds. Far side over onto the right wing now for Coates. Coates back out to Reynolds. Reynolds in the slot and into the corner. Jace Wilkinson, three-point shot from the right side is good.
Yeah, Collinsville really shot the ball well from outside. That was something that Coach Lee said that we needed to do well. See if we can get Rochester out of that zone that they've liked to run.
Here is Sweeney. Sweeney enters in from the right wing and cut off there by the very tall Talbot. That's a mismatch if there ever was one. And then off the glass, Taylor Beal. He banks 2 in, 14-9. We are down to the final minute left to go here in this first quarter. Here is Wilkinson. Gets it over to Reynolds. Reynolds at the top of the C at midcourt. Gives it up now for Evan Wilkinson. Over to Jace Wilkinson from Reynolds. Another three. That one tips off the front of the rim, and the rebound belongs to Tanner Beal. And the Rockets move the ball back up. There's a quick move by Sweeney. Sweeney baseline, turns around over the head of Reynolds. No good. Solomon Talbot there with the rebound as we approach 35 seconds left to play here in this opening quarter. Here's Donovan Coates. Got the ball knocked out of his hands as another Gregory is ready to check in. That would be the freshman, 5'10", Cordell Gregory. He'll come in and take the place of Tanner Beal.
Yeah, giving up a fair amount of size. 6'6" goes out, 5'10" comes in. Maybe trying to go with a little more quickness, give Collinsville some trouble out on the perimeter.
Here is Coates, back out to Reynolds, over to Jace Wilkinson, back to Reynolds. Reynolds with his feet on the logo, gives it up now for Coates. Coates stands right in front of Tony Gavin. The Rockets head coach gives it up to Talbot, and then a reverse layup underneath the basket by Donovan Coates. His first non-3-point bucket made of this game. We're down to the final 10 seconds, and here comes Sweeney. Sweeney, he breaks in, and he gets fouled by Reynolds. So Collinsville with their third foul here in this first half. They have one up there for Rochester, but I don't see it on the board.
That was on Melton, maybe?
Carnahan checks back in.
I don't know. We'll check that here in a moment.
Talbot to the bench. Well, it must be a guy who's not out there right now.
Yeah,
so that would either Gregory or Beal.
My gut says Melton, but I might be, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, Melton's not out there either.
I have a 24, but Chase, our 24, just picked up a foul, so
yep.
We'll check that.
All right, back to work. 1 second left. Here's a three-point shot at the buzzer that skips across the top, and that is the way that the first quarter comes to a close, 16-9 in favor of Collinsville. Back in just a moment. Second quarter comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 16-9 in favor of Collinsville after one quarter of play. And Zach, that's got to be one of the fastest quarters I've ever seen.
Yeah, not a lot of fouls called, giving shades of the game that I did last year against another Central State 8 team when Jacksonville came down. I tell you what, that was absolutely rapid. I think we got through the whole game in less than an hour.
Wow.
It was running clock helped in the fourth quarter, but it was very quick. The referees weren't calling a whole lot, so not a lot of stoppages, and it was a pretty quick night for everybody involved. That might have been a travel, but referee disagrees.
Sweeney gets the ball over to Gregory, and then back outside it goes to Cox. Cox back over to Sweeney. Sweeney with the right-hand dribble, tries to enter through the right wing side of things, and that was blocked out. Now he gets the ball over to Bruce. Bruce gets it up inside once again for Cox. Cox back to Sweeney. Sweeney kicks it back outside. Here is Bruce for three, and that one tickles the outside of the net and then goes out of bounds. That's the fifth turnover here by the Rockets, and they are now 0 for 5 from beyond the three-point stripe.
Yeah, Jordan Taylor into the game for the Kahawks.
Nice to see him in there, 6'5" junior.
Had a pretty good showing in the JV game.
Yeah, Taylor had 10, Kamari Mays had 20, and Collinsville won the JV game 52-46.
Another three-pointer made by Collinsville, Evan Wilkinson from...
Evan Wilkinson continues the hot three-point scoring here for Collinsville. The Kahawks have 5 three-point makes out of their 10 tries, so 50%. You'll take that all the time from three-point land. Here is Sweeney trying for three. That one falls a little bit short, and the rebound belongs to Collinsville. Kahawks bring it up. Here is Jace Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets it over to Evan Wilkinson, who gets it over to Taylor. Back outside now for Wilkinson, and then Jace. Jace over to Evan. One of the Rockets bench. Around we go for Coates. Donovan outside for Jace. And another three-point try by Evan. That one's a little too strong. Stanley Carnahan picks up the rebound. And the Kahawks try another three-pointer. This one from Coates. That one's no good, and a whistle follows.
They're going to get Taylor for a push in the back there.
So first foul here in quarter number 2 belongs to Jordan Taylor as
Melton and Corbin Gregory re-enter. And it was Melton who did pick up that
Okay.
foul for Rochester.
All right, I got it now.
Okay.
All right, here comes Cordell Gregory. So we have 2 Gregorys on the floor. There's 3 Gregorys on this team, Corbin, Cornell, and Cordell. All 3 of those guys have the same first 3 letters in their names, K-H-O. As a matter of fact, K-H-O-R.
Yeah. As we have a foul on Corbin Gregory.
So Corbin will pick up his first team foul. Each team now the foul here in quarter number 2. We're just underway in the second quarter. 19-9 in favor of Collinsville. Kahawks up by 10. And here comes Jace Wilkinson across the line now for Coates. Coates, a one-hand shovel pass over back to Jace. Jace finds Evan. Evan in front of the Rockets bench. Inside now for Carnahan. No look pass over his shoulder, and Donovan Coates takes the shot, but he is fouled in the process. Looks like this one's going to go against Brooks Gavin, and it will.
Didn't see a lot of contact there, but referee.
He was a lot closer than I was.
Yeah. So Coates gets to. He's shot the ball very well.
20 of 24 on the season from the free throw line already.
Yeah, that's as makes that one. That's one thing that I will give some credit to Donovan for his time in Edwardsville. That's something that Edwardsville do very well, and he's continued that as he's come back to Collinsville.
That went to Edwardsville for a couple of years. Now he's back in Collinsville. 21-9 after he made both of them.
Up to 10 points already.
Yeah. I kind of figured he would be in double digits, but I didn't think it was going to be this quick. Here is Corbin Gregory. Gregory at the top of the key. Shifts up and gives it out onto the wing, and Cox thought about going for the three-pointer, but thought better of it as Jace Wilkinson closed in on him. Now here's Gavin. Gavin kicks it up outside for Melton, and Melton with the left-hand dribble takes it over on the left wing, almost threw it away. Coates got a hand on it, but couldn't keep it, and it stays outside, and now a nice move on the other direction, and I'll tell you what, the Rockets trying to give that ball up, but just didn't. That's their first three-point shot of their 7 tries, and that makes it 21-12. Here is Donovan Coates. Coates, right at the end of the Rockets bench, gives it up for Evan Wilkinson in the corner. He's double-teamed, and up underneath, kick it outside, Jace Wilkinson. Evan Wilkinson inside again for Carnahan. He's double-teamed, pulls away, takes the shot, and gets it to fall after a nice bounce.
Yeah, Carnahan and does a very good job of just a lot of head fakes, just trying to get the defender to move, and does a pretty good job of getting guys to bite on it.
Here is Corbin Gregory trying to penetrate the inside. Can't do it. Kicks it back outside. Another three-point shot there from Cox. That one's no good, and the rebound belongs to Collinsville. Rebounds are dead even at 7 apiece now. Here is Jace Wilkinson for another three-point try. That one misses the mark. And this time the rebound belongs to Rochester. They get it up into the hands of Cordell Gregory. Gregory takes it all the way down, gives it up to the older Gregory. That's Corbin. Another three-point shot by Cox misses the mark. And Collinsville, as Coach Lee mentioned, needs to pick up these rebounds after these missed three-pointers, and that's exactly what they're doing. And then a little pop and drop by Jace Wilkinson. And we have a timeout on the floor called by Mr. Tony Gavin and his Rochester Rockets. We'll be back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Have the day off tomorrow, and then we got some more hockey coming up for you on Thursday, and then we are on the road as the boys basketball teams open Southwestern Conference play at Belleville East on Friday. Chris Kettler and I will be bringing you that game. The Chris Keller, who just found out he's being inducted into the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, so a big congratulations to Chris Kettler.
Yeah, it's always cool to see somebody that, you've gotten to know pretty well, friend of the network, as it were, and see
very much deserved.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work for Collinsville, and not just basketball, but pretty much everything. He's worked scoreboard.
Almost a steal there, and now it is a turnover. Collinsville only their second turnover of this game, and here is Melton. Melton drives all the way in. Wilkinson kind of keeps him out of the perimeter, and lucky he didn't get called for a foul. Now Melton gets the ball back, and now a foul will be handed out, but I think this one's going to go against Talbot.
I would be inclined to agree with you. That's looks like what the referee's going to go with. And
that's his second team foul. Each team with 2 fouls here in this second quarter, and to the free throw line will be Jack Melton. And Melton went 4 of 6 in the win over Hillsborough the other night. And he makes the first one. So Melton is on the board. 25-13 in favor of Collinsville. 3.5 left to go here in this second quarter. And the second one is also good. So Collinsville brings it back up, leading by 11. Here is Donovan Coates. Coates gets the ball over to Reynolds. Reynolds was the starting quarterback for the Kahok football team this year in his senior season. And back out front for Reynolds, over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson almost lost the handle, finds it once again, gives it up to Reynolds. Reynolds into the corner for Coates. Coates, one bounce, picks up his dribble, gives it up now. Evan for 3, top of the key, and that one misses. And the rebound belongs to the Rockets. And now the ball gets knocked out of bounds by Coates, and it'll remain Rochester's ball.
Jace Wilkinson will come back in. He'll take the place of Talbot.
Well, that's a mismatch in size.
Yeah.
That's a whole foot, man. 6'11 goes out, 5'11 comes in.
Yeah, but Collinsville have,
I know.
They like kind of going with this 4-guard lineup around Carnahan. So,
well, you know, Carnahan or Talbot's always going to be out there in the paint trying to get down rebounds. Here's a 3-point shot from the big left-hand corner. No good, and then the ball ends up on the ground. And now a whistle will stop the festivities.
Held ball, possession to the Kahawks.
Well, that's the second jump ball that Collinsville has won here, and that will turn into the 6th turnover now for Rochester, and 2 of them have been jump ball turnovers.
Yeah, Bruce comes in for Melton. Rochester not playing a ton of guys. I guess they've had 8 players enter into the game at this point.
Inbound pass comes in, no look pass. Carnahan waits it out, and he goes up for a shot. Not going to fall, but he's going to go to the free throw line for 2.
And we'll see who they get the foul on here. And looks like it'll be on Beal. It's his first.
Tanner Beal will pick up his first. That is the 3rd foul for Rochester. And Stanley Carnahan to the free throw line, where he is 2 of 6 this year and now 2 of 7.
Yeah, Stan struggling a little bit, at least early on. He's
got more facial hair this year than he did last year.
Yeah.
This is both.
Yeah.
Rebound belongs to Rochester. They're winning the battle of the boards right now, 10-9. Here is Cordell Gregory. Gregory picks up his dribble and gives it up to his older brother, Corbin Gregory. Corbin all the way deep out on the left wing. Gives it up top of the key now for Beal. Beal, he picks up his dribble after just 1 bounce. Gives it over to the younger Gregory. He kicks it back outside. Bruce for 3. That's a little bit too long. And the rebound comes all the way out and picked up this time by the Rockets. They'll bounce it out onto the same wing again. And once again, here is the younger Gregory. He takes the shot from the paint. No good. Rebound belongs to the Rockets. And back out front will go now to Cordell Gregory. Gregory fires the ball over to Bruce in front of the Kahawks bench. Inside now for Cox. And we're going to have a charging foul called against Cox. Collinsville's going to get the ball back.
Yeah, that's a nice job there. I know that point of emphasis for referees this year has been kind of managing flopping as it happens, but definitely a fair amount of contact there, and the referee gets Cox with the offensive foul.
Here is Chase Reynolds. Gets the ball over to Jace. Jason Chase. One arm pass over to Coates. He'll launch a 3-point shot. That one's good. And Donovan Coates is feeling it from beyond the 3-point stripe. That is his 3rd 3-pointer of the night.
Yeah, got 13 of the 28 for the Kahawks. Nearly outscoring Rochester by himself at this point.
Almost. There's a mismanaged ball, but it stays with the Rockets. And here is Cox. Cox just outside the lane. Pulls up, takes a shot. That one's good for 2.
Yeah, that's a tough shot there, but gets it to fall. He's up to 4 points now.
Here is Coates. Coates out front to the top of the key for Reynolds. Reynolds, 1 bounce, gives it back to Donovan. Out front will go to Jace. He'll launch a 3-point shot. That one's a little too short. And the rebound belongs to the Rockets. 3-point shots flying all over the place, man. That's Collinsville's 16th 3-point shot. Rockets have taken 13.
Well, I mean, Collinsville said that, again, going back to Coach Lee's comments earlier, with Rochester sitting back in their zone, Collinsville are going to want to shoot a lot of threes as Brooks Gavin comes back in. Will take the place of Cordell Gregory.
Reynolds inbounds, and it gets away from Donovan Coates, and now he's going to be pushed by Brooks Gavin. That was, I don't know, man.
That's the 5th foul, so to add insult to injury, you're going to shoot send the ultra-reliable Coates to the free throw line on a foul 90 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, and that was, I don't know, that was, you could have, looked the other way on that one, I think.
Yeah, but referees deemed it necessary, and Gavin will pick up his second, and Donovan will shoot 2 more free throws.
Well, Donovan's already 2 for 2 here in this game from the charity stripe. Make that 3 for 3.
Taylor back in for Collinsville. Melton back in for Rochester as Evan Wilkinson and Brooks Gavin respectively head back to the bench.
So now I only have 1 Wilkinson and 1 Gregory to worry about. Makes my life a little easier. Donovan Coates continues his dominance from the free throw line. And Collinsville extends their lead 30-16. We're down to the final 45 seconds left to play here in quarter number 2 in the first half, getting ready to come to a close. We have the Woods Basement Systems halftime show coming up for you at the conclusion of this quarter. Here is Beal. He'll kick it back outside for Cox. Cox dribbles into the paint, takes the shot, no good. Donovan Coates is there with the rebound, Over to Reynolds. Reynolds across the timeline and gets it back over to Coates at the logo. 20 seconds. Over to Jace Wilkinson. Back to Coates. They'll play catch at the timeline for a while.
Hold for 1 here.
Yep.
And now they'll go.
Wilkinson on the right wing. Gives it up to Donovan Coates. Now at the free throw line. Reynolds. 2. Oh, a little bit too short on that one by Jordan Taylor. And then at the buzzer, no good. And that is the way that the first half, comes to a close, 30-16 in favor of Collinsville. And that'll take us into the halftime show, brought to you by my friends at Woods Basement Systems, all things basement-y. Woods Basement Systems, working to keep homes dry since 1986. They've been doing their thing. And if you have some water problems going on in your house and you need to get those taken care of, give my friends at Woods Basement Systems a call at their Collinsville headquarters, 618-708-4055. Woods Basement System halftime show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KayokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100. And we welcome you back into the Woods Basement Systems halftime show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Well, with the early start of this one, so we can allow Rochester to get back at a decent hour because their kids have school tomorrow. They moved everything up a half hour, so most of the games just started at 7:30, so nothing much to tell you about except for Oakville beating Woodlawn by a final score of 35-18, and that's in girls basketball. So we will move on to what we know here, and that is Collinsville leading 30-16. They led 16-9 after the first quarter. They put that 7-point lead and doubled it up to 14 with a 14-7 dominating second quarter over the Rockets of Rochester. And your leading scorer in this one is Donovan Coates. He has 15 points. Jace Wilkinson has knocked down 8. 3 points for Evan Wilkinson, 2 each for Stanley Carnahan and Solomon Talbot. On the other side for Rochester, they're being led in points by Eli Cox and his 4. 3 points apiece for Corbin Gregory and Brooks Gavin, and then 2 points each for Kai Bruce, Jack Melton, and Tanner Beal. Right now, Rochester winning the rebound battle 13-10, but Rochester's losing the turnover battle. They've turned the ball over 7 times to Collinsville's 2. And from the lines, Collinsville has hit 6 of 16 3-point shots, while Rochester has hit 1 of 12. And from the free throw line, each team has taken 6 shots from the free throw line. Collinsville has hit 4 of theirs, and Rochester has hit 5 of theirs. We can tell you that the JV boys won over Rochester earlier here today, 52-46. Rochester led 15-13 after one quarter, 26-24 as they went into halftime. And then Collinsville, as they usually do under Coach Anderson, come back in the second half, took a 39-35 lead, did Collinsville, and then held on for a 52-46 final. Kahawks win that one. Kamari Mays with 20 points and Jordan Taylor with 10 points. That is a look at your Woods Basement Systems halftime show. Again, you got some water problems going on in your house that you need to get taken care of. You need to give my friends at Woods Basement Systems a call at their Collinsville headquarters. That number, 618-708-4055. Third quarter action coming your way next on the Kahawk Sports Network. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville presents the Sports Page Lounge. Come check out Collinsville's newest destination for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge features a 14-foot 9-screen video wall with games across the spectrum, from college football and basketball to the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, and NBA. Pair that with tastefully crafted libations from the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and you have the perfect atmosphere for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge, next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery at 115 Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 618-855-8027 for more information. The Sports Page Lounge, a new experience for sports lovers in Collinsville.
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistants Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistants Association. Go Kahawks! We are underway here in the second half. Collinsville leading 30-16. Rochester had the ball to begin with, and then they missed shot. Rebound belonged to Collinsville, and then a turnaround put back by none other than Solomon Talbot. And now we have a whistle. We have a timeout already.
Yeah, very quick timeout.
All right,
from.
Well, we're going to take a timeout as well. 60-second timeout, no less. So we'll be back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site, right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldheraldbrewing.com. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from: Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. I don't think I've ever seen a team take a timeout 35 seconds after a half started. Have you?
Not that I can remember.
No.
Coach Gavin saw something. He's like, nope, I'm correcting this right now.
Yeah, guess so. All right, Rochester with the ball. Shot from the baseline. No good. And then I think Carnahan might have got taken down there by Donovan Coates going for that rebound.
Well, nice to see guys hustling after it, and stands fine.
Yeah, here is Carnahan outside to Reynolds as we switch ends, and now we're going to have a foul, and this one's going to go as Talbot was getting ready to jump up for a shot. Not sure if it's going to be a shooting foul, though. That's going to go against Tanner Beal. That'll be his first foul of the second half. Non-shooting foul, so Chase Reynolds is going to inbound. He'll do so all the way out top of the key for Coates, and Coates throws it away.
Yeah, trying to get it into Talbot, which I like trying to establish Solomon inside. They've done a decent job of that, and really nobody that Collinsville are going to play all year have the size except for, well, maybe John Burrows, but that's still a long ways off.
This is only my second game I've done for the boys this year. Both of them have been here, and both the opposing teams have worn orange. I've almost caught myself twice now getting ready to call them Heron.
Orange and blue, not orange and black.
I know. There's a three-point shot made by Bruce. And that's how Heron gets started here in this.
There you go, you just did it.
Second half, yeah. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. See, I was already talking about Heron, and I just did it. I jinxed myself.
Yep.
Here is Chase Reynolds. Reynolds moves the ball up inside now for Talbot. Back out to Reynolds. He'll launch a three-point shot. That one rattles and rolls all the way around and finally falls in.
They had to give that one a little bit of a lean.
I was doing the same thing.
Swirled around and drops in to get Jace in the scoring ledger for tonight as Gregory loses it out of bounds.
Another turnover here now for the Rochester. That's what I do when I'm bowling. When the ball is not going the right way, I try to lean it over toward the other way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it works more often than you would think it would.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's some sort of psychosomatic thing.
Me and the family went bowling out in Airport Plaza Lanes in Bethalto on Saturday while you were watching the boys play in that triad tournament.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to spend a snowy day that Saturday was.
It was fun.
Yeah, roads stayed pretty nice, so.
Oh, yeah, it was well after the snow stopped. I kind of figured by then the roads would be fine, and they were.
Yeah.
Nice little jaunt up 270 to get to Bethalto from Collinsville.
Carnahan will pick up a foul. His second, they'll rule it on the floor as Bruce will trigger the inbound for the Rockets.
Into the first period, and no score between St. Louis and Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, from what I've seen, Winnipeg have been really tearing it up this
year.
year.
Well, they started off 15-1, but they've lost 3 in a row coming into tonight's game.
Missed three-pointer. Coach will just let it go out of bounds.
All right, we digress. Back to basketball action here. 35-19 in favor of Collinsville as we approach 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. I got this little tickle in the back of my throat that just won't go away right now.
I feel like about everybody in town has that.
Oh, I almost lost my voice Monday and Tuesday last week.
Nice post-to-post pass there, and did about everything but going for Carnahan, but Rochester knocks it out of bounds, so Kahoks will get another crack at it.
And the inbound pass once again will be triggered by Chase Reynolds. Reynolds throws it all the way outside for Coates. Coates, free throw line, takes a shot. He's pretty good from the free throw line, so why not?
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of maybe a little bit of a faster Nick Horace in terms of his play style, at least from what I've seen so far.
I can go with that. Here is Melton with the ball. Melton gets it over to Bruce. Bruce will put it up inside for Gregory in the corner. And then in the perimeter it goes once again for Beal, and now we have another whistle on the play.
Coach Lee doesn't love that one. It'll be a reach in on Jace.
Jace will pick up his first foul, and that is the second team foul here in quarter number 3.
2, 3, and 4 come back in for Rochester. So that's Cordell Gregory, Brooks Gavin, and Nate Swaney. So player exchange is going on. It's like a wholesale player change there. They call that in hockey. Yeah, I think saw Rochester go 5 for 5 during the Hillsborough game.
Yeah, there's a shot from just inside the perimeter. No good. Collinsville pulls down the rebound. Kahok's bring it back. Here is Coates over to Reynolds, over to Wilkinson in the corner for 3. That one's too strong. Saw that one and left his hand. That wasn't a rebound, though. Never did hit anything, and now we're going to have a foul called in the paint.
Big man hits the floor.
This one looks like it's going to go against Gregory.
Oh,
nope, Bruce.
Solomon will shoot some free throws, which I think he's done a fairly good job of that. 6 of 8.
4 of 5.
4 of 5.
4 of 5 on the year.
So better, actually, than I'm giving him credit for. And
there you go.
Yeah.
Bends those knees. He's almost tall and long enough. He could probably just reach out there and dunk it from the free throw line.
I remember hearing stories about Wilt Chamberlain doing that, so they had to modify the rules that you had to keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah.
But Solomon makes them both, and it's.
Yeah.
I know that's when you got
Solomon now at 6.
You got guys that big. Normally that's a bit of a struggle, but
yeah,
Solomon's pretty good at it.
Shaquille O'Neal always struggled from the free throw line in his day.
Mm-hmm.
He almost lost the ball, did Cox. Cox now gives it up to Sweeney. Sweeney almost wanted to look like he backed his way into the perimeter, but kicks it back outside now for Gavin. And Gavin, he'll dribble and drive. He got double teamed and had to give up the ball to Sweeney once again. Sweeney, left-hand dribble all the way back out toward the logo. 3:40 to go here in quarter number 3. Collinsville up 39-19. Taking it back outside now for Cox. Cox at the free throw line. Almost lost the ball, found it under his legs, turns around, takes a shot, good.
Yeah, kind of a solid lefty stroke there. Cox up to 6 points now.
Here is Coates. Oh, boy. Sweeney trying to jump over Donovan Coates as he was coming up the sideline and almost went head first.
Yeah, looks like everybody's okay, thankfully. Yeah. Sweeney will get charged with the foul.
Yeah, that would be like an insult to injury foul there almost.
Yeah, kind of, but
thankfully no injury.
Yeah, looks like he's fine as it's nearly stolen away there by Gavin.
All the way out to Wilkinson in front of his bench. He's fouled. He's going to get 3 free throws.
Yeah, that'll be Gavin's 3rd foul, and really the last 2 is the second one that he picked up just before halftime was 90 feet from the basket. Now fouling a guy after gambling, trying to go for a steal, and that'll pick up his 3rd. I'm sure his head coach / dad will not be very happy with that.
Yeah. He gets 3 shots, missed the first one. Jace Wilkinson, 19 of 28 from the free throw line coming into this game. His first time to the line, and he's going to miss 2.
That's maybe rush that second one a little bit. But
might not kill you in this game, but, man, you miss those in some other games, and it's going to be it makes the difference. And he makes the 3rd one.
Jace up to 9 now.
40-21, and here's a nice dribble drive by Cordell Gregory, and Gregory off the glass gets his first 2 points of this game.
2-2-1 full court pressure being applied now by the Rockets. New defensive wrinkle.
And Collinsville breaks it no problem, really. Just a bunch of passing, and then a no-look pass into Carnahan. He lost the handle, finds it, turns around, and makes it count.
Yeah, nice job there from Stan. Gets him up to 4 points, and Rochester looked like they were going to try and run a little, as we'll have a foul on Jace Wilkinson. That'll be his 2nd.
Yeah. Both of them coming here in this half, so Evan Wilkinson's going to come in and take the place of Jace.
No relation between the two.
Nope.
But Evan is the younger brother of Jake Wilkinson.
We've had a number of Wilkinsons.
Yep. And then no relation between either one of them, and then the Anferny and Philando.
Philando, yeah. I remember Philando back in the day.
Which was, oh gosh.
That was a long time ago.
A dozen years ago now?
Yeah. That was, I think, my first couple of years he was the quarterback of the football team. All right, over to Chase Reynolds in front of his own bench. Now into the slot for Coates over on the right wing for Wilkinson. Wilkinson, one dribble, picks it up, gives it up to Coates, and then to Reynolds inside the perimeter, then steps back out. Gives it up. Talbot off the glass, good for 2.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Solomon is just being aggressive. I mean,
yeah.
6'11", it's going to be pretty hard to stop him, and he's up to 8 points, which I think matches his point total from the Mount Vernon game.
Over into the corner it goes for Cox. Cox gets it outside now for Gregory. Gregory, he'll launch a 3-point shot from the other wing, and that hits the shot clock. That'll be in use next year, and it'll be in use later this month for the Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Classic.
Yeah, it probably won't be too long before we start getting the brackets out, I think.
11th or 12th is what Clay Smith said.
All right, so it'll be a little over a week.
Yeah. Here's Wilkinson after the inbound pass, gives it up now for Reynolds. No look pass over to Carnahan, who no looks it to Wilkinson, and off the glass, can't get it to fall. And then it's going to be picked up by Rochester. They get it up quickly to Gregory, and Gregory's going to get fouled. He'll go to the line +1. That's going to go against Chase Reynolds. That'll be his 2nd. So now Wilkinson, Carnahan, Reynolds, and Talbot all with 2 fouls for Collinsville.
Pretty balanced, though. I mean, 2 fouls with a minute and a half left in third isn't too concerning.
Each team with 4. There is Cordell Gregory, who went 3 of 8 from the free throw line against Hillsboro. And that one bounces in. So Gregory now with 5 points, and all 5 have come here in the second half. Wilkinson over to Reynolds as they try to break this press. That one's picked off. Collinsville's 4th turnover, and now we're going to have a travel as a little hop, skip, and too many jumps there by Jack Melton. And he walked.
Coach Gavin not very happy about it, asking for a foul, which may have been one, but I think it was after.
It was after the travel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is Evan Wilkinson behind the back pass, almost got picked off. And now out to Reynolds, into the corner, Donovan Coates for 3. It's just a little short, and the rebound falls right down into the hands of Rochester. They bring it back down. Gregory with a fingertip roll, and he all of a sudden has 7 points. Collinsville wants a timeout. Coach Lee calling a 30-second timeout. We'll step aside for that long as well, and we'll be back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network. Looking for a new place to catch the game with cold drinks and great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahok games and all the pro sports across the spectrum, plus all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332. Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. As I mentioned, got the day off tomorrow. Thursday we have some hockey for you, and then Friday back to basketball. Zach's got a basketball game here Thursday. Little girls Southwestern Conference game, also against Belleville East.
Conference opener for the girls after kind of an extended break with adjustment to the schedule of the Nashville tournament.
Well, they played 4 games in 6 days. They needed a break.
Yeah, now they're going to get a week off, and it's been longer than that for Belleville East. They haven't played since the Saturday before Thanksgiving. I think almost a week and a half off nearly.
We're down to the final 25 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Here is Coates, gets it over to Carnahan, who gets it over to Wilkinson for 3. A little too strong. Popped up in the air. Who wants it? Rochester says they want it, and they have it. They bring the ball back up. Trying to do it quickly, too. Everything's kind of been quick about this game.
Not super high scoring, though.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Drive outside the lane, no good at the buzzer, and that is it for quarter number 3. Quarter number 4 comes your way next here on the Kahok Sports Network. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224. Todd Duke, Zach Roseman back with you from venerable Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, the friendly confines of Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School.
Got some kind of, that was the Jeopardy theme song.
I thought
it was like, this is kind of rather soothing for a basketball game. I'm like, just waiting around to get everything started here.
I guess. Somebody's a little impatient. That's the only way you play the Jeopardy song, is if you're impatient.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're underway in the fourth quarter, 44-28. Collinsville only outscoring Rochester in that third quarter, 14-12. But Collinsville takes a 14-point lead and turns it into a 16-point lead. Here is Coates, and off the glass, can't get it to fall, so he's going to go to the line for 2 instead of an and 1.
Foul is on
Cox.
Yes.
Eli Cox picks up his second, and back to the free throw line, Donovan Coates. The last person that Rochester probably wants to foul.
4 of 4 tonight.
Yep. And make it 5 of 5.
Up to 18 points now. Again, a solid game from Donovan. He's kind of turned into that go-to scorer role for Collinsville, at least here in this early part of the season, and seems like he's kind of taken that role with relish.
Yeah. He's all over it. 46-28. Here comes Jack Melton. Melton gets the ball over to Cox. Cox with a bounce pass to Gregory. Gregory with an underhander back over to Melton. He'll launch a three-point shot, and it's good. And 1 3-pointer in the first half. They've got 2 here in the second half, does Rochester. 46-31. Here is Chase Reynolds trying to break some pressure. They finally do so. Get it across the timeline to Evan Wilkinson. Now back over to Reynolds. Reynolds, one bounce with the left hand, gives it up now for Coates. Into the corner, Wilkinson for 3, good!
Yeah, he's the trick with Evan is just keep shooting. That's his second of probably 6 or 7 attempts.
And a little pop and drop there from Jack Melton. And Melton with 5 points here in the second half after 2 in the first half. So Nihal has 7, 49-33. Collinsville still has a pretty comfortable lead. Up to the top of the key for Wilkinson. He'll just let it go from there. That one's a little too strong and almost a little push from behind there by Talbot, but they didn't call it. And Rochester brings it up. Here's another 3-point shot taken by the Rockets, and Talbot pulls down that rebound.
He's got to be approaching double digits. He's got quite a few rebounds tonight to Solomon, which is
what you would expect. That's what he's out there for.
Right.
That and putback baskets. Here's a little pop and drop from Coates. That's good.
20 points now for the second game in a row, up to 21 now for the senior wing.
There's a drive by Gavin, tried the reverse layup, no good, and the loose ball belongs to Coates. Never did touch anything, so you consider that a turnover instead of a rebound. Here is Reynolds. Reynolds on the left wing, picks up his dribble. Coates, free throw line, takes it in the paint. Oh, that was nice too. Coates, he just kind of parted the seas there and found a little opening, and here is Gavin for 3. That one's no good, and the rebound belongs to Collinsville. Kahawks bring it back up. Here is Chase Reynolds. Reynolds trying to work it up across the logo, gives to Coates. Coates once again in the paint, gives it up, and how about a little bit of a dunk there by Solomon Talbot.
Yeah, there you go. Nice to see Solomon put one down. We've been kind of asking him for one for a while as Gregory drives the lane and is fouled by one of the Wilkinsons.
I believe that's Jace.
I'm going to give it to Evan.
Well, they are. All right, well, Evan will pick up his first instead of Jace picking up his third. And to the free throw line is Cordell Gregory. He is 1 of 1 from the charity stripe here tonight. Gregory eyes things. And good.
As Corbin Gregory, Swaney, Beal, and Melton come back in for Rochester, as Carnahan.
Kamari Rogers will check in for Collinsville.
And nice to see Kamari get out there. Had a very good game in the JV game.
Well, knocked down 20. So between Kamari Mays and Jordan Taylor, they scored 30 of the 52 points that the JV team scored in that game. 55-35. Collinsville leads by 20. Here is Evan Wilkinson at the baseline. Gives it up for Jace for 3. That one bounces across the rim. Coates is there with the rebound. And a jump ball is going to be called. This time, the possession arrow is going to be in favor of Rochester. They bring it back up quickly. Here is Gregory. Gets it outside and then over to Sweeney. Back over to Gregory inside for Beal. Beal will hand the ball off back to Sweeney. Sweeney drives baseline. Underhand pass he tried, but he passed it right to Carnahan. Carnahan says thank you very much. He gets it up to Coates into the corner. Evan Wilkinson for 3 again from the corner. That's a little too strong. And the rebound belongs to Collinsville. And he gives it back over to Coates. Coates from the right wing over to the left side now for Mays. Mays Throws it up into the corner now. Opposite corner for Wilkinson. No look pass. Donovan Coates just outside the lane. Can't get it to fall. Rebound. Carnahan. Putback is good.
There you go. Carnahan and Talbot really doing well playing off of each other. It's a little different from as a kind of a leaning layup there from Cordell Gregory, no good.
Yeah, you didn't get the underhand fingertip roll either. Here's Coates from the corner for three. Too short. Gets his own rebound and nowhere to go. Kicks it back outside. Off center free throw line. No good, but there is the rebound and the putback for Donovan Coates.
25 now for Donovan. Lead out to 24 and see.
Got an outside chance of hitting 30.
Yeah, not impossible.
No. Here is Gregory. Gregory with a nice move. Kicks it up into the corner now for Beal. Beal gets it over to the other Gregory. That is Corbin. And then outside, three-point shot taken by Sweeney. No good. Rebound belongs to the K-Hawks and Donovan Coates. Coates will bring it back up, and then a whistle will stop the action.
And he'll come out. That might be the probably the end of his night, but 25 points, strong showing. Jordan Taylor in to replace him.
59-35. We have 3.5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. And here comes Corbin Gregory. Gregory, 5'8" junior, lost control of the ball, and it is picked up by Collinsville and Taylor. Over to Mays. That's the 10th turnover by Rochester. Over to Wilkinson, outside to Mays. Back to Evan for three from the left corner, and it rattles home. That's all Evan has had tonight is three-pointers. He's hit 3 of them.
That's kind of his role, just come off the bench and shoot threes, and he's done a pretty good job of that. Is a long 2 there from Corbin Gregory. He's up to 5 points now.
Yeah, he had 3 in the first half. That's his first points here in the second half, but he didn't play much of the second half.
No.
Outside for Jace Wilkinson. Wilkinson almost fell down. Stayed with the dribble, though. Pops one from the baseline. No good, and we're going to have a foul called against Jack Melton.
It's his second team foul, and Jace will shoot some free throws after
going 0 for 3, or 1 for 3.
Yeah,
excuse
I was like,
me.
he made 1, didn't he?
Yeah, he made the last one.
There you go.
Now he's settled in. He's ready to make both, right?
Hope so.
Nope. We'll wait for the next time.
DeAndre Brown and Jupal Hudson will come in as Reese Gade, 6'1" freshman, comes into the game for the first time for the Rockets.
Jace Wilkinson remains the only starter out there. That's because he's at the free throw line, and he'll make 1 of 2. And now he will go off, and coming on is Jupal Hudson.
Who had a decent game in the JV game. I think he had about 8 points. I think it was the third scorer for the JV K-Hawks.
There is Gregory. He'll kick it outside, then over from Beal to the other Gregory, and then back outside once again, and it goes to Cordell Gregory. Cordell at the free throw line, turns and splits the defense, almost got the shot off, and Mays ends up with the rebound up to Evan with a behind-the-back layup that's good for 2.
Yeah, so 3 K-Hawks in double figures now. Evan up to 11.
There is a drive, and the fingertip roll works for Corbin Gregory. And he now has 7. Here is Evan Wilkinson. He'll throw the ball all the way across to Kamari Mays. Mays drives and then gets pinballed off a couple of players. No call. And the loose ball belongs to Rochester. That's only the 5th turnover for Collinsville here in this game. Coach Lee will be happy about that.
Yeah, always good if you can keep that number down. As Cordell Gregory hits a 3 from the quarter, he's into double figures.
Yeah. I think Coach Lee likes to keep the turnovers around 8 or under, so he'll get his wish here tonight, hopefully. Got 90 seconds left to play here in this fourth quarter, and now Kamari Mays is going to get called for a foul.
All right, we got some new subs coming in for Rochester, as Sweeney will shoot 2 free throws.
Parker Dethridge is waiting over there.
One of the other seniors on the roster is Sweeney gets that one to roll. Other sub is Aiden White, 6'2" sophomore.
Sweeney, that's his first trip to the free throw line here this season. This is only their second game, so I'm sure he'll get a lot more.
Yep.
And he'll miss the second one. The rebound belongs to Jordan Taylor. Collinsville will work the ball back up with just 80 seconds left to play here in this one. 65-43 in favor of Collinsville. K-Hawks will move to 4-1 on the year. Rochester will drop to 1-1. Here is Jordan Taylor off of the glass. Good for 2. He's on the scoreboard.
Yep. Rochester's next game will be Friday, as Coach Gavin will call a timeout to get Finn Bruce in, as Collinsville will bring in Hunter Thorpe and Aiden Terrell.
So Aiden Terrell checks into the game for the first time, as does Hunter Thorpe. Excuse me.
Evan Wilkinson and Taylor will head to the bench.
Inbound pass comes in to Sweeney. Sweeney at the Kahok logo. Under a minute to go. Picked off by Kamari Mays. He'll drive to the basket, and he'll get fouled by Sweeney. That'll be his second.
And I think this will be the opportunity for Sweeney picks up his second, and this will be the opportunity for Kamari Mays to find himself 2,166 points behind his older brother.
Rayshawn Taylor.
I believe that's his first varsity points.
I think so too. Rayshawn was here last Tuesday for that win over Heron. Not here tonight. And I was talking to his mom earlier today. He has class.
He had, he was here. He was there Saturday, at least for the Muscuda game.
Here is a dribble drive by Sweeney, and he'll put it up, but he'll be fouled on the way up, and this one is going to belong to Hudson.
Yep.
37.7 to go, 68-43 in favor of Collinsville. Post-game show will be coming up at the conclusion of this one. Back to the free throw line, Nate Sweeney. He just went 1 of 2 from there and makes the first one this go-around as well.
Next action for Collinsville will be Friday night at Belleville East. You're doing that one?
Got that game. Chris Kettler and I will have that call.
Next action for Rochester will be Friday for their home opener.
Yep.
As they take on
Tolono.
Yeah, Tolono Unity.
Tolono Unity High School.
Rockets versus Rockets,
Yeah.
actually. Maroon for Tolono, as Sweeney picks up another point.
You'll never find a game where there's Kahawks versus Kahawks.
Nope. We take pride in our uniqueness, as Mays will just stand out there at the logo, and Rochester will let the time run out. Looks like, anyway. 68-46 will be your final.
That's exactly right. 68-46. Collinsville wins this one, improves to 4-1. Rochester drops to 1-1. All right, Zach Roseman, thanks a lot for filling in. We appreciate you. You have fun Thursday for the girls' game.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime. I'll don't know if I'm going to make the trip down Friday, but sure I'll be here for plenty more Collinsville games.
I'm sure you will be. All right, that is Zach Roseman. My name is Todd Duke, and now time for the post-game show, brought to you tonight by LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great drinks, and great service served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. 605 North Main Street in Caseyville is where you'll find them. If you would like to call them for carry-out orders, you can do so. 618-855-9007. 68-46 our final post-game show. That comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network. Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahawk games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahawk fans' pub of choice. Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com.
The Collinsville Area Community Foundation is our community's charitable foundation. We connect people, support programs, and guide resources to help our community thrive. Our board is made up of local leaders that donate their time and expertise to identify opportunities for long-term community impact in and around Collinsville. Find out more about scholarships, grants, and ways to give back to the city we love by visiting collinsvillefoundation.com.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food, like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice. And we welcome you back into the LC's Pub post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Varsity wins here tonight 68-46, and joining us now is assistant to the head coach Darren Lee. That would be Mr. Eric Anderson, who happens to be the head coach of the JV team. That's where we begin, Coach. You know, you guys in your JV team, man, you have this reputation for coming back in games and winning them. And you did it again tonight.
Tonight was a tough one. That's a quality JV team they have at Rochester, and they got a couple, the twins out there, those two guards, man, they're pretty good, freshman guards, and they play in the varsity game. Unfortunately, one of them got hurt towards the end of the JV game. He didn't play much in the varsity game or at all. But the brother, he did, number 2. He's a good player. They got
Gregory boys.
Yeah, they got a good freshman class there. They're going to be pretty solid. And but yeah, that was a good win for us. You know, obviously we had Will Moulton was sick, so we were down a starter, and
somebody just turned off my camera again.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to go with the logo instead of that orange thing there.
Yeah, so it was a quality win.
Usually it's you, and you got your hands in your pocket, so I can't blame you this
I know.
time.
I've done that to you a couple times.
That's all right. All right, Kamari Mays, man, he looks like he's going to be a pretty good one to watch for a while. He gets another 20 points for that JV team.
Yeah, he knocked down some threes and did well. I mean, we haven't, worked on zone offense a whole lot yet. We just haven't had a lot of time and practice. So I was pleased with the way we move the ball, and we've shot it well on so far this season at the JV level. So when we saw zone, they didn't panic, and we were able to get enough post touches. And, knocked down enough shots, came out with a victory.
All right, let's move on to the varsity game. They gave you guys some fits there in the first quarter, but after you guys kind of settled in, things kind of went your way.
They're a quality team. I'm pleasantly surprised how easily we were able to win this game. Seriously, we shot the ball. I felt like we shot it really well. We had balanced scoring. Looks like 4 guys in double digits, and obviously Donovan Coates led the way with 25. He was shooting the ball real well the last couple games. So, when we're making shots like that, it makes our offense that much better.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Coach Lee in the pregame interview, and he said these guys for Rochester, they're going to take a lot of three-point shots. We just have to get those long rebounds, and you guys did that tonight.
Yeah, and we limited and we got, we didn't give them the second chance points that they get against other teams with their size. And, Solomon and Stanley or Talbot and Carnahan are doing a great job rebounding. They're really all over the boards and altering shots in there. And, that team's dangerous. They can get hot. They shoot a lot of threes, and luckily for us, they weren't making them tonight.
Yeah, and you guys, both teams, man, you guys took 16 three-point shots. They took 18 three-point shots, and that was another thing Coach Lee mentioned with that zone defense, that you're going to have your chances for three-point shots.
Yeah, and I'll credit our guys. They got out and got into them and didn't give them any set shot threes and made them, take a couple deep ones. And, we didn't give them a whole lot of good looks, but they did get a few, and luckily they didn't go in, and we were able to get that separation and pull away. So, yeah, we really played well in all facets of the game tonight, and, we need to work on running back a little bit. We gave up some transition points that I think we can take that away a little bit better. I don't know if guys got a little winded at times, but, we had them down 20, and then they cut it right back down to 16 or 14, That's when we really got to focus and get back and not give them any easy baskets. But overall, I was very pleased with the effort tonight.
Yeah, and now you got the non-conference guys out of the way for a little while. Conference play starts on Friday with a game at Belleville East that we'll have here for you. And, when you get into that Southwestern Conference portion of your schedule, things get tougher.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We ran into them this summer, and summer, take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. It's not, how it's going to be in the season. But, they beat us pretty well. They're athletic. They pressed us. We turned it over a lot in the summer. That's my memory in the summer. So I think we're much better, and we're going to be okay. But, like you said, when you step on the floor in a conference game, it can go either way any night. So we got to come ready to play.
All right, Coach, we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for the visit.
All right, Todd, thank you.
All right, that is Eric Anderson, the varsity assistant coach for Darren Lee and the guy in charge of the JV team. Both teams winners here tonight. JV wins 52-46, and the varsity team wins 68-46. As Coach mentioned, 4 players in double digits. Donovan Coates with 25, 11 points for Evan Wilkinson, and 10 each for Jace Wilkinson and Solomon Talbot. After that, Stanley Carnahan had 6, Chase Reynolds had 3, and 2 points for Jordan Taylor off the bench. Kamari Mays had his first varsity point. He went 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Only one in double digits for Rochester was Cordell Gregory. He had 11. After that, Jack Melton and Nate Sweeney. He was the only one. 7 points for Jack Melton. 3 points for Gavin, and Sweeney ended up with 4 points. 6 points for Eli Cox. And then also 7 for Melton and Corbin Gregory. 5 points for Kai Bruce and 2 for Tanner Bell. Collinsville wins the battle of the boards. They out-rebounded Rochester here tonight 26-20. Rochester turned the ball over 10 times to Collinsville's 5. And from the line, Collinsville actually ended up, I read the first half stats. Collinsville 9 of 24 from beyond the three-point stripe, while Rochester ended up going 3 of 18. And then from the free throw lines, Collinsville ended up hitting 11 of 17, while Rochester hit 10 of 13. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. We have the day off tomorrow. We have hockey action coming up for you on Thursday. Collinsville taking on the team comprised of the kids from Freeburg and Waterloo. That's at the McKendree Recplex, and that's scheduled for a 7:30 start, so we'll be on the air a little after 7 o'clock. And then, of course, we have the conference opener Friday night at Belleville East that we will be bringing you on the Kahok Sports Network as well. Big thank you to Darren Lee joining me on the pregame show. A big thank you to, once again, Eric Anderson joining me on the postgame show. And a big thank you to Zach Roseman, who donned the other headset and joined us as the color commentator on this contest. My name is Todd Duke, and until Thursday, everyone enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.